The Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game just did something so absolutely phenomenal, yet inconceivable, that if I didn't have a mountain of evidence to support it, including certification from the Guinness Book of World Records, even I, as the person making this video, probably wouldn't believe it. So what am I talking about? Because there's probably many a duelist who read the title of this video and immediately thought, oh Kappa G, you on that S tier clickbait today. And while I admit from time to time I will make my video titles kinda spicy, if you watch my videos, you'll know that despite the titles seeming somewhat hyperbolic or unbelievable, they are in fact accurate and true. Such is the case for this title where, as mind-blowing as this may seem, the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG just absolutely shattered the attendance world record for a recorded in-person trading card game tournament. This was done over the weekend at the monumental and absolutely massive YCS Tokyo, Japan, which I believe just so happened to also be the 10th YCS in the OCG's YCS circuit history. It should go without saying, but this made it a very special event, which Konami actually went all out for when it comes to advertisements, promotions, coverage which included the live stream, and even some special guests like the giant furry Karibo, which in my opinion was adorable and kinda just went around causing havoc and running into people and stuff like that. This earth-shattering tournament clocked in at a staggering 7,443 players live in attendance, which utterly demolished the previous world record, which was also set by us in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG at YCS Long Beach, California in 2012. That event's record of 4,364 was pretty much unimaginable at the time, but was beaten by well over 3,000 participants. When I first heard that YCS Tokyo cracked over 7,000 players, I didn't believe it, and I thought that it was some type of mistake. However, this information is not just coming via Konami themselves, it's already been officially certified by the Guinness Book of World Records. In fact, to celebrate, Konami even gave out official, quote-unquote, record holder tokens with Guinness's official seal right on the cards. This is something I don't feel like I need to say, but to me, this is a phenomenal sign for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. I think that it shows that the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community has grown tremendously over the years, the tournament scene and premier event series is absolutely red hot, and that people are actively passionate and excited to play the TCG competitively. Now, not to divert the point of this video or to go on a long tangent, but this is the whole reason that I won't let this issue go of Europe not having any YCS events for the first half of the 2024 year. Look at the numbers that Konami has been getting for YCSs over the past couple of years and explain to me how it makes any sense to go half a year without a single event in Europe. YCS Raleigh, which I attended by the way, massive, 1,800 players. YCS Las Vegas in February of this year, largest 3v3 ever, with the event having over 1,700 players. And the last two European YCS events in 2023, Bologna and Dortmund, 2,500 and 2,450 respectively. Attendance is clearly not an issue in the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, at least not in its thriving markets of North America, Europe, Asia, and Latin America. I've actually been saying this for a while now, but I think that this video can now serve as definitive proof we actually need more YCS events in this game. Because as truly unbelievable and as ridiculous as this may sound, while YCS Tokyo did just shatter the previous world record with nearly 7,500 players, there were actually 8,000 duelists who in fact registered for the event. Some didn't arrive in time, some didn't show up at all, but in theory, this event could have easily been 5% higher when it comes to attendance. Also, and don't quote me on this, but I believe that there was also a cap on this event, and that some people had to win a lottery style system to be selected to enter and play. So who knows, we could actually see this record broken in the future, because keep in mind, while the OCG has held YCS tournaments in cities across Japan like Osaka and Yokohama, Tokyo is on a completely different level. It's the largest city in the world by a few million people, it's a giant tourist hub on top of that. So if Konami were to go back in a few years for maybe the 15th event, pull out all the stops and get a bigger venue, do stuff like raise the cap, I don't think that it's completely far-fetched to think that they could pull in possibly 10,000 duelists specifically in Tokyo. As for how the event itself ran, that's a little unclear, because while there are tons of tweets on Twitter from OCG players, I don't read Japanese, so it's a little hard to gather accurate information. There were a few TCG players who went to the event, but I haven't been able to find any information posted by them as far as how things are running. I would assume that there were probably massive delays like YCS Long Beach a dozen years ago, where it was said that Konami had to rent out additional halls on the spot to accommodate all the players, and that it held the tournament up a couple of hours when it came to starting. In addition, with a tournament this size of YCS Tokyo, you're probably looking at maybe 11 to 12 rounds of Swiss just in day 1, in addition to even more rounds of Swiss in day 2, and then finally the top cut rounds. I would think that the saving grace here is that for the OCG YCSs, their format means that rounds should go by much faster compared to the TCG events. For anyone wondering, yes, this event was played under the traditional OCG YCS tournament rules of a Master Duel style best of 1. This means that there is no need to bring a side deck to the event, and it also means that crazy stuff happens at Japanese YCSs, like Math Mech winning the tournament last year in Tokyo as it faced off against Makanko of all things in the finals. The OCG YCSs are not necessarily seen as the best examples of skill, so I wouldn't use them as blueprints if, you're looking for something strange or under the radar to play. Because of this best of 1 format, it can just be a little wonky. Some players have taken this as an opportunity to play some spicy and downright crazy strategies at the event, such as Phantom Knight Tenpai, Gimmick Puppet FTK, which miraculously started out 6-0 despite losing every die roll, Drytron Post Infinite Forbidden, and Machumi Tenpai for basically anyone in the OCG who just wanted to play 6 copies of Maxi just in case you lose those die rolls. With this all said, the YCS is double elimination, so you won't get ousted from the tournament just on your first loss. However, if it happens twice, you are out. One thing I want to talk about that isn't actually related to this event at all, but I know someone in the comment section is going to bring up, so I might as well too, is the 2015 Magic the Gathering Las Vegas Grand Prix event, where it was reported that the event had 7,051 players in attendance. Some are gonna say, come on Cap G, you know that that's the official record. Magic had more people. That's a Magic record, it's not Yu-Gi-Oh! Except it isn't, and it's for 2 very specific reasons. Reason number 1, that tournament was split into 2 smaller tournaments, so it wouldn't qualify as a single tournament. Reason number 2, Guinness wasn't there to certify the number, so it's not official in any regards to a world record. Now, I'm not saying that they made up the number, but technically they could have. When Guinness is there, however, they vet any claims that an individual or group makes in regards to any record to make sure that it's accurate. I'm not sure why Wizards of the Coast or someone from Magic didn't call up Guinness when they noticed a gigantic number of players who were there, because, they could have had the world record, but they didn't, and, whose fault is that? Konami, on the other hand, has done that twice, and I don't know how they do it, but they've gotten in contact with Guinness and they've certified the number to make it official. Back to the best of 1 format that they use for the OCG YCSs, because I've always wondered in the back of my head if the OCG players actually like that format for their events in Japan. Obviously, people are way more accustomed to that because of, the recent popularity of Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. However, all of Master Duel and all of Master Duel's tournaments are best of 1. The OCG, by comparison, isn't like that. If you go to a regular OCG Locals or any other sanctioned competitive event that isn't a YCS, they're 2 out of 3, just like in the TCG. So I've always thought that it's just kind of jarring that all your duels are a specific format and then you switch to something completely different for your most competitive event. For anyone wondering about the pricing, once again, I think that Konami did an excellent job here. It's probably just because this is the 10th Japanese YCS, but top 64 finishers will be going home with a stainless steel copy of Gandora, the Dragon of Destruction, and finalists will be awarded a new exclusive mat that features Blue Eyes White Dragon and Dark Magician on the stone tablet, a la what we saw in Battle City. I'm sure there's some other prizes, but I think these are specifically the new ones. Anyways, I think that it's great to see that the OCG, just had its new set and that it is thriving in their metagame, which I think actually from what I saw on the Road of the King, the latest article prior to this YCS, it seems incredibly diverse. It seems like you can play a handful of decks and it does not feel like they are in tier 0, at least not quite tier 0 like it was before. To me, the success that the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG is seeing right now just screams that we need more YCS events around the world. And I've never understood when people, try to make excuses for an $8 billion company, not million, billion with a B, an $8 billion company as to why they can't host more events. It's just BS. It's lame excuses. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, we are literally out here breaking world records because the competitive scene is popping off that hard. There's no excuse to why they can't have events pretty much as many as people desire at this point. But you guys let me know what you think of that, think about this, and did you see this coming? Because I'm gonna be honest, when we broke the attendance record at Long Beach, I thought that thing was gonna stand for a very long time, but for us to absolutely shatter it, and honestly, had everybody showed up who registered, we would have almost doubled it. It's just absolutely mind-blowing. But you guys let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching as always.